G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. Pretty excited this morning. Couple of reasons. Shrouded in cloud, perfect for woodland photography. And number two, I've got a brand new toy to play with. Brand new lens, just come to the Nikon Z mount. Lucky enough for Tamron to send it over, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that now. And yeah, let's get this video started. Yes, so this is it, the Tamron 28-75 f 2.8. It's brand new for the Z mount, Nikon Z mount. It previously was out on the Sony E mount, now just come to Nikon. Straight off the bat, this lens is light. It is beautiful. My main shooting, or probably 98% of my images I shoot on this camera, is my 24-120, which is slightly longer and slightly heavier. So just holding this in my hands, this lens feels amazing. And I think that's what this lens is built for. Handheld, walking around, taking images. Whether you're an event photographer, landscape photographer, weekend warrior. What I mean by weekend warrior is someone who gets out on the weekends, maybe shoots your kids down at the park, or you're traveling to a local town, city, or you're going on holiday. This could be the perfect lens for you, just walking around, taking images. So that's what I'm gonna do. I typically, well, 100%, I'm going in percentages here, 100% of the time, take all my images on a tripod. Simple reason for that is I like to compose my shots. I like to take time. So I'll set it up, set my camera on a tripod, compose my image, take the shot. So the first part of this video is I woke up the morning after getting this lens. We had a super foggy morning, not untypical of Ballarat, as you can see. Jumped in my car before work, drove out to the countryside, just did some photography shots on a tripod, just to test it out. It was my go-to. I've got to get out of that mindset of using a tripod sometimes. But yeah, put on a tripod and took some beautiful images in the fog of the countryside and a bit of B-roll. We'll chuck that up now. We'll talk through the images and then stay tuned, because I did get out and did some handheld street photography. Then after that, I'm going to walk around my beautiful local area here and get some woodland photographies, all handheld. And yeah, at the end I'll discuss what I think of this lens, who's it for, what's it for, price range, is it any good? Stay tuned, let's go. So yeah, as I previously mentioned before, first morning out with the lens on a tripod. Absolutely foggy, soupy morning here, as you can see. Saw this tree in a paddock, jumped out, thought, hey, let's get some images here. First one, I'm going to mention in every image I take, I'm going to put up the focal length and the f-stop, or the aperture, sorry, that I used, just for reference. So this is at its widest 28mm f10, typical kind of landscape image, sharp throughout. A little bit of editing, not too much. Next one I went black and white, something a little bit different here, again 28. The next image is really interesting. Got these cobwebs, they showed up really nicely. This lens is beautiful for getting up close and macro, as you can see here. Just these cobwebs shining on the fence, this fence I found on the countryside here. Really enjoyed taking these images. And then on the way back home, I saw this little country road. I thought, hey, why not jump out? Let's get an image here at the longest focal length, 75mm. And yeah, just pretty much all there was to it. Here I am, in the middle of town, out of my natural environment. I thought I'd come out and use this lens where it would probably excel. Handheld, walk around. I'm going to walk the streets of Ballarat this morning and get some street photography. So I'm really excited using this lens, walking around. A couple of things I want to talk about. If you follow me, I'm not a street photographer at all. I love the woods, woodland photography, so that's my go-to. But yeah, walk around. I'm going to do some street photography, or streetscapes, whatever you want to call it, here in Ballarat. Handheld, no tripod. The other interesting thing is I had to dig out this strap that came with my camera. The strap's as old as the camera was when I got it 4 years ago. And it actually, I just had to open the plastic packaging. It's brand new, the strap. Put it on, had to watch a tutorial video how to put a strap on the camera, because as a landscape photographer who uses a tripod, 100% of the time I never have the use for a strap. As it's on your tripod, it flaps around and you can get shake. But yeah, really pushing the boat out this morning, and let's see what kind of images we can grab. handheld, walking around Ballarat, the streets of Ballarat. Come along with me. Let's see if we can get some cool images. Let's go. Here wasn't so much doing street photography the whole of Ballarat or Main Street. It was more back alleys. I just found a few more interesting images to take, and the light wasn't so no blur. It was an overcast day, so I was exploring more of these little alleyways we have here in Ballarat. There's a famous alleyway, if you can guess the name, 10 Points. Yes, Umbrella Lane. So yeah, really, I can't stress this enough. Just walking around with this handheld, this lens, and shooting streetscapes. Yeah, I think I might do more of this kind of photography. Like I said, I'm not a streetscape photographer by any means, but yeah, just had fun. Really like this shot, classic Ballarat shot if you've ever come, 41mm, and then came to this laneway. Thought I'd try something different with this one, and I get down low, handheld, looking up the street, the cobblestone street here. I thought it would make for a really cool shot, and yeah, I think it did. Also, another thing that surprised me as a landscape photographer is I was shooting a lot of images at 2.8, and they were really sharp. So yeah, something I don't normally shoot at is 2.8. I'm normally a 9 to 10 sort of aperture guy, so I like my landscapes sharp throughout. But 2.8, yeah, I really like shooting at 2.8. So again, I'll be honest here, this is the first time I've been in a phone box, probably in about 15, 20 years, picking up this phone. It felt weird. Yeah, I thought it'd make a cool shot. And then just some driving around, getting out, taking some images of Ballarat itself. Yeah, so while I fumble around in the woods here trying to take some images of the last bit of this video, talk a little bit about specs. 67mm filter size, so for your polarizers and all your filters, you'll need a 67mm filter on the end of this. Pretty standard. So I mentioned earlier, it's almost a macro. You can do macro photography with this if you like. Almost at the widest 28mm. You can get 4.4 centimeter or 1.7 inches focal distance. So, well, shooting up close, sorry, that's pretty good. That's pretty impressive for this lens. So next is obviously a really good sell point for this is the weight. 540 grams or 19 ounces. I thought was really spectacular. It's the one thing I really loved about the lens is the weight. Walking around, didn't even feel it on the camera really, just superb. So I guess the main thing is image quality. Well, being a fast aperture lens, man, this does not disappoint. The image quality in this lens, and I'm going to say it is bloody good. The lens demonstrates high resolving power to the edges of the frame at all focal lengths, I found, and just an absolute pleasure to work with the Lightroom doing the editing. Okay, the verdict. Had this lens for a week now. The Tamron 28-75 f2.8 G2. So there is a G1. Haven't used it, but from what I've seen, this lens is 10 times better than that lens. So if you own the G1 and thinking about getting the G2, I'm going to give you some honest feedback on this. Image quality wise, which everyone sort of wants to know, is it's superb. Can't fault it. Lens itself is just beautiful, well built, weather sealed, light. Oh, that's another thing. It's a beautifully light lens, And that comes back to who is this lens made for? And it's everyone, the everyday photographer. This lens is aimed at the everyday get out and shoot photographer. Even professionals, event photographers, weddings, indoors, low light. I think this lens would be for you. Also landscape photography, street photography. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? So the only downside really to this lens is how wide it can go. 28mm might not be wide enough for some people. But other than that, you know, it wasn't really, I found myself in some tight situations, especially that phone box image. I was up against the wall, 28mm. And in some woodland scenarios, you're just trying to, I felt a little bit confined at 28mm, having to walk back, and then maybe I was backed up against another tree, things like that. But other than that, yeah, the everyday photographer would love this lens. Can't fault it. Tamron hit it out of the park with this. Beautiful, beautiful image quality. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you liked it. Hope you liked the vlog. Let me know if you liked my street photography, because that was, you know, if I can do street photography with this lens, I'm sure most of you who do street photography will absolutely nail it. But yeah, thanks for watching this hands-on review of the Tamron 28-75. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you on the next adventure, guys. Get out and shoot and have fun.